Anxiety. It shows up in so many forms. Maybe it's a knot in your stomach before an important meeting, the restless nights replaying past conversations, or that sudden wave of panic that seems to come out of nowhere. For many of us, anxiety feels like an invisible enemy, something we can't fully understand, let alone control. But what if the real key to overcoming anxiety isn't about forcing yourself to calm down or pretending everything is fine? What if the solution is to understand how your brain actually works? That's exactly what the book Rewire Your Anxious Brain by Pittman and Elizabeth Karle sets out to explain. Instead of offering quick fixes or vague advice, this book takes us inside the brain itself, showing us the signs of anxiety and how we can use that knowledge to reshape our reactions. And here's the best part. Once you understand the pathways that fuel anxiety, you can use the right strategies to retrain your brain, reduce unnecessary fear, and finally feel in control again. The authors reveal something eye-opening. Anxiety doesn't come from one single place. It has two main sources in the brain, the amygdala and the cortex. The amygdala is your emotional alarm system. It's fast, automatic, and reactive. Think about the jolt you feel when you hear a loud noise or the rush of fear when a car swerves into your lane. That's your amygdala pulling the fire alarm before you've even had a chance to think. It's a survival tool, but it often misfires, creating fear where there is no real danger. The cortex, on the other hand, is the rational, thinking part of your brain. It creates stories, predictions, and what if scenarios. This is the voice that whispers, what if I mess up? What if something bad happens tomorrow? While the amygdala gives you sudden jolts of fear, the cortex is what keeps you stuck in endless cycles of worry and overthinking. Now, here's why this distinction matters so much. If anxiety comes from two different systems, then there's no one-size-fits-all solution. You need different tools depending on which part of your brain is driving the anxiety. For amygdala-driven anxiety, the sudden physical panic, you can't simply talk yourself out of it. Logical reasoning won't quiet an overactive alarm system. Instead, you need body-based strategies, breathing exercises to regulate your nervous system, exposure therapy, which gently retrains the amygdala by proving that the situations you fear aren't actually dangerous, grounding techniques, like focusing on your senses, to bring your body back to balance. For cortex-driven anxiety, the spiral of worry and constant what-if thoughts, the solution lies in reshaping your thinking patterns. Cognitive restructuring, where you challenge irrational thoughts and replace them with realistic ones. Mindfulness practices, which train you to stay in the present instead of getting lost in future fears or past regrets. Thought labeling, where you notice what your mind is doing. That's just a worry thought, instead of getting pulled into it. The brilliance of this book lies in how clearly it separates these two paths of anxiety and matches them with practical tools. It's like being given a map of your own brain and finally knowing which direction to take when anxiety hits. Another powerful idea the authors emphasize is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. Anxiety isn't a permanent sentence. Each time you practice calming your amygdala or reshaping your cortex's thought patterns, you're literally building new neural pathways. Over time, these pathways grow stronger, making peace and resilience your new default. So, what can we take away from all this? First, anxiety is not a character flaw. It's not a sign of weakness or failure. It's simply your brain doing what it was designed to do, sometimes too aggressively. When you feel anxious, it doesn't mean you're broken. It just means your brain's wiring is firing in ways that no longer serve you. And wiring can be changed. Second, awareness is the first step to freedom. The next time anxiety hits, pause and ask yourself, is this coming from my amygdala or is this my cortex running wild? Just naming the source gives you clarity. From there, you can choose the right tool, whether it's a grounding breath or a mindful thought shift. Third, progress comes from small, repeated steps. Just like anxiety builds over time, calm also builds over time. Each time you choose to face a fear, challenge a negative belief, or return to the present moment, you are strengthening new, healthier pathways in your brain. And finally, perhaps the most empowering lesson, you are not at the mercy of anxiety. You have the power to rewire your brain. With patience, practice, and the right strategies, you can retrain both your amygdala and your cortex to work with you, not against you. So here's the challenge I leave with you today. The next time anxiety shows up, instead of fighting it blindly, meet it with curiosity. Notice which part of your brain is speaking. Then use one tool, just one small shift. Do that consistently, and you'll begin to see change. Because anxiety doesn't have to control your life. You have the ability to step into a calmer, stronger version of yourself. And the rewiring begins today. If you found this breakdown helpful, imagine what applying it could do for your life. Take one step today. Your future self will thank you.